Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? We have a lot of stuff to go over and cover. Can everybody hear me all right? Give me a number one if everybody out there can hear me right now, so I know everything is good to go. All right. Number ones are coming in. Audio's good. Video looks good. All right. Well, listen, folks, we got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. I do appreciate everybody being here. Um, I you people just have no idea what this channel is doing right now. We are growing like crazy. We're almost up to 41,000 subscribers. Um, we hit a milestone just the other day. We also hit another milestone for those that didn't check the community tab of over 3 million views on this channel, which is phenomenal. I can't say thank you enough. Um, we also have two giveaways that we're doing tonight. One wasn't claimed from last week, so I went back to that video, picked another winner, and I'll be announcing that tonight, plus the winner from yesterday's video. So we have two of them to be given away tonight. I already have the winners, and I hope everybody out there is excited, and good luck to all that is here and watching. Now, typically I go through and I say hello to everybody and I go through everything, but I got a lot of stuff to cover, and this is very important. So we're going to jump right into what we need to talk about here, folks. Um, as I did say in the very beginning, this is your last warning. It's very disconcerting what is going on right now. What we are in for coming soon. We're not really sure exactly when some of this stuff is going to hit, but it's so imperative for you people to start preparing and being prepared now. You have to understand what is taking place at this point in time in this country, in this world that we all live in, that we call home. There is just so much stuff that is going on right now. Just the other day, they released the May outlook, if you want to say, for the cost of living and inflation and all that. It's over a 40-year high. Hasn't been this high since 1981, and it was at 8.63%, which is crushing a lot of Americans out there right now. A lot of people out there are having a very difficult time in choosing what they want to do. Gas prices were also, they're up to and on average at $5 a gallon across the country. Some places they're already in the $6, and they're still going up. Down here in Florida, I filled my car up today. It was $4.89. They're saying that probably within the next week we'll be at $5, just like everybody else. I know certain places, things are just getting crazy here, folks. And and then we had this past week, we had this past Thursday night, we had the rolled around was on national TV, lots of the networks. It was a huge thing. Was on the January 6th committee, going over all the things we already know that basically took place. Yeah, they're going to show you some new video and all this kind of stuff and everything else. Which really, at this point in time, with everything that's taken place, this thing being on TV just does not concern me in one bit. Now, I do not agree with what happened on January 6th. But that said, something that we really need to be asking ourselves, if they want to put something into primetime TV, there's going to be what, 5 more of these things? They're going to be making a whole series out of this. I mean, I'm sorry, it's just a little ridiculous to me, but that's just my opinion. And I'm going to explain why here in a minute. But I do believe it was George Carlin that came up with this great idea quite a few years ago, quite a long time ago, about putting things like this and all other type of things on like prime time or pay per view and letting people pay to watch it. I mean, if they want to watch it, let them pay for it. And this way here, they can take the money and they can put it towards all their little campaigns, or they can put it towards the deficit. Oh, wait, we wouldn't do that. Why would we want to try to pay something, $30 trillion down? Um, but he had a great idea way back in the day. And if he was still alive today, he would probably be saying, he just likes to sit back and watch the show. And that's what this is really turning into. But the problem being is this show is a horror show. Really, folks. I mean, this is really, really bad. This is getting really bad for a lot of people, not just in this country, but throughout this whole world. All right. My question is, if they're going to put something out there in prime time, folks, I want to know what the government is doing about the high gas prices, high diesel prices, high inflation, the food costs, the high electric costs. I want to know what is being done about that. Why isn't it nobody is talking all about that kind of stuff that is affecting every American citizen in this country right now? Why is this not being all over the news? Why isn't this in prime time? All right. American people want to get back to some type of normalcy here. You know, that's what Americans will turn into and watch. Not that we would believe what we are hearing, if you get what I'm saying. Because we all know you take things that you hear from the government with a grain of salt. But at least it would give us some smoke and mirrors in the meantime, or as they send out, all these free Charlie Victor 19 tests to anybody that maybe would want them. You can order those things right online. I think they should include a jar of petroleum jelly to make it a little easier on the American people when they're being bent over and it's being shoved up their rear ends, if you get what I'm saying. Because basically, right now, that is what is taking place. We are paying the price, and they're not doing anything about it. And this is why they're not doing anything about it. We're all getting tired of being abused and being treated like we don't matter anymore. It's all about the other countries. It's all about the big businesses, the multi-billionaires, and all these people. They're all the ones calling the shots and everything else. And people in Washington are just puppets on strings waiting for their next paycheck from all these type of companies, corporations, and people that like to fund their party. I tell you, folks, this is very, very hard for me to sit here and say this, and I'm sitting in this country. I just, it's really bad. Um, the other day, this lady was on. Uh, she was being interviewed on at Capitol Hill. She was, in one of these meetings, and her name was Janet Yellen. Now, for you that don't know who Janet is, she is our U.S. Treasury Secretary. And she had this to say about what is taking place right now. Because as we all know, the Biden administration has said that they've done all they can do to curb the high gas prices, which we all know is a lie. And here's why. This is what she said. It is virtually impossible for us to insulate ourselves from shocks like the ones that are occurring in Russia that move global oil prices and look over the medium term. The critical thing is that we become more dependent on, listen to this, folks, wind and the sun that are not subject to geopolitical situations. We are looking now at moving towards wind and solar. That's the most important thing at this time, quote unquote. Now, you guys can all go back and watch this. It's on YouTube. Now, if I'm not mistaken, all right, under the previous administration, people, we were pretty much set as far as everything goes, as far as energy dependent. We didn't depend on anybody else for our energy or anything else. We did not rely on other countries for our fuel, gas, or anything else being brought into this country. And we did not have the high energy prices, and we did not have the high food prices either. Under this, basically, this current administration, what is taking place is he did away with all that. So now, not only do we have high energy prices, high gas prices, high food prices, high rent prices, and mortgage prices, interest rates on the rise. And if you want to really know how they were going to control a lot of these different things, well, folks, it's called a mega drought. And it's been going on for quite a few years out west. The mega drought, on top of everything else that is going on to put our food crisis in high gear come this fall into winter, that's what they're going to blame on climate change. Yes, folks, you know what they're going to do is they're going to turn around and they're going to want to use the climate change and try to implement more of the Green New Deal. Now, I know a lot of you may disagree with me, but it's coming, folks. They have a plan and they wanted to execute it. All right. This is what they really pushing for is for these people on the far left. This is what they really want. I mean, these people that are out there in left field, folks. I mean, they're out there. All right. And they're going to get it through executive orders from the president. You see, if the current administration starts issuing executive orders on food preparation, on what you do, on what you buy, what you spend your money on, where you go, how you do it, how much gas you can buy, all these different types of things, we're pretty much screwed, folks. And this is what they really want. They want the gas prices to be where they are now and to keep going up because they want to try to push people. All right. They want to try to push people into having to turn to buying electric cars. But the problem is that electric cars are out of the reach for so many Americans. And even if everybody could afford electric car, let's say they sold them for $15,000 a pop. All right. Where is all these millions of people out there and all these millions of cars, where you're going to plug them into and charge them? You think our grid would actually take that? Our grid would shut down in a heartbeat. We'd all be living in the dark. And hopefully you live on a farm, so you have a horse, so you got something to ride. Or maybe you got that bicycle from when you were a kid. Because, I mean, that's what they're pushing for. They're trying to figure out ways to get their agenda done. These far left people, and they're really working on it really hard behind the scenes. All right. Now, here is a Democrat, U.S. Democrat senator from Michigan, Deborah, I think it's pronounced Stabenow. And here's what she had to say about gas prices just the other day, because she's taken a lot of heat from a lot of people over this. To say just on the issue of gas prices, after waiting for a long time to have enough money in this country and chips in this country to finally get my electric vehicle, I got it and drove it from Michigan to Washington, D.C. last weekend and went by every single gas station. And I didn't even care how high it was. And so I'm looking forward to the opportunity for us to move to vehicles that aren't going to be dependent on the whims of the oil companies and the international market. Really, Debbie? That's the best you've got. How about we start controlling and putting a cap into how much these oil companies and can charge, and the regular consumers that are posting, these companies are posting billions of dollars, folks, in profits already for this first quarter. I mean, it's just insane on what they are doing and how much money they have already made this year. This is just getting out of control, folks. You have to really start looking and paying attention and reading between the lines. I mean, because it is getting ugly. It's getting ugly quick. And these people are out to take everything they possibly can take and to try and make sure that, you know what, they don't care. They don't care about me and you. And as soon as everybody starts realizing this, is when people are really going to start wising up, and hopefully it's not too damn late, and start prepping and being prepared. This is your last warning, folks, because they're going to start. This is going to get ugly. You have truck drivers that are already starting to say, you know what? We can't take this anymore. These prices, we can't afford to put these trucks on the road. And we're already what, 85, 90,000 truckers down, that were missing. Either they retired or they went, they're gone. They got out of the business, whatever it may be. And as this keeps going, it's only going to get worse. And what's going to happen when all these goods and stuff start trying to roll back in here from other countries, especially like China and everything else, since that's where we have to buy all our stuff from, you know, there is a, you know, there is ways that we can try to make sure we're buying and stuff in America and try not to buy anything that's from China or Hong Kong or these places. I'm going to be doing a video about that coming out this coming week. Um, but the point of it is this is the monster we have created. The American people thrive on buying all this stuff. They don't care where it's made. They don't care who made it. They don't care if it was made in a sweatshop by some kid making, 30 cents for the day. They don't care about any of that. What they do care about is that's what they want. And that's reality, folks. It's a monster we've created. And now to change the habits of all the American people is basically literally impossible. The only way you could really physically do that is if you turned around and you just didn't allow anything to come into the country. You get whatever we make. We force this country to start making the goods that we need on a daily basis. But do we really think that's going to happen? Now, see, a lot of people believe that, you should buy American. You should buy, always shop, small towns, your local businesses, and all this kind of stuff. And I totally do agree. And there's a lot of people that refuse, or so they say, they refuse to go like to Walmart or Sam's or any of these kind of places. But in the end, when money is tight, as it is right now with the inflation at 8.63% for last month, the highest it's been in 41 years. It puts a really strain on a lot of people to try to, well, let's just say, help the little guy, because the big guy is buying in massive bulk. And at this point in time, people have to save every penny that they possibly can. And they have to do what they have to do to put food on a table for their family. They have to make sure that, you know what, folks? I mean, they have to. A lot of people are making some really tough decisions right now between having to put gas in their cars, food on the table, a roof over their head. I mean, the whole nine yards. And it's getting way out of hand. And we need to rein all this back in. We need to rein it back in and we need to take control over our own goods, our own services, and everything else in this country. We don't need to be outsourcing all this stuff to all these other places, to all these countries. You pick the phone up and you call somebody, if you need help or whatever, the help desk. Well, you're not going to be calling somebody here in America. I mean, forget it. It ain't going to happen. You're going to be going overseas, either to India, to China, to, um, you know, wherever. It ain't going to be going to here. Why can't we have call centers here? But if you ever did notice, if you do call like places and you say, I need to speak to somebody in the States that speaks English, they'll transfer you and you'll get a phone call and boom, you're talking to somebody here in the United States. So why didn't that phone call just go right to somebody here in the United States? We have all these senators, all right? Congress people. We have all these people up there and they're being paid by us. They were elected by us. And I want to know what they're doing. What are they doing up there? What are they doing in Washington, D.C.? What are they doing to help out you and me? What are they doing for your family? They're putting you in the poorhouse. I don't understand why. And everybody says, yes, I mean, you can change everything, get out and vote and all this kind of stuff. That's fine and dandy if that's what you choose to believe. I choose to believe that sometimes um, certain things are going to be done the way they're going to be done, whether we like it or we don't. It to me, it doesn't really matter who is sitting in whatever office in the Senate or in the Congress. You know, it's who has the biggest checkbook that is going to really make a difference in their decisions on what they are doing on a daily basis and how they are voting. We also have to remember one critical part of this whole scenario. This is your last warning. And what we are in for coming really, really soon, folks. The writing's on the wall. Maybe a lot of you out there don't pay attention to the news, and I don't blame you one bit. Trust me. All right. But I pay attention to a lot of it. And I take it with a grain of salt and I try to go back and I want to see where these people have said things, done things, what's going on, what is actually really taking place in this country. And these people are trying their hardest for some reason. I don't know why. I can't tell you why, but it seems to me as if they want to destroy what we have and then try to rebuild it all over again. It's like reinventing the wheel. Are we out of our minds? Is it is it just me or what do you all think? If you think what's going on right now and if you're not happy about any of the stuff that's going on as far as I'm sure everybody out there you're struggling with high food prices, high gas prices, high rents, maybe your mortgage rate went up, all this type of stuff. Everybody throw a number 1 out there. If you're not happy about what you are seeing and what is taking place, throw a number 1 out there because this has to be crazy, just a I don't understand why they would want to do this to this great country. Why are we trying to go backwards in time? We've already been there, we've done it. And why do we want to go back and reinvent everything all over again? And then you have this other group that's out there right now, this change.org group that just wants to change everything that we do and everything that is done. And they think they know best for all of us American people. Well, I hate to tell you, folks, but these people do not know what they are doing to this country. They see what they see, and that is it. And they are ruining this country. I don't agree with a lot of things that happened in the past. Hell, I wasn't even around for most of it, you know? And probably most of you weren't. Maybe some of you are or were, but we learn something from the mistakes. It's just like when you're a kid, when you're growing up, you learn from your mistakes and then you turn around and you try not to do it again because sometimes you learn the hard way. And that's a real hard pill to swallow, especially as a mother and a father. It's hard to let your kids make mistakes. It's hard to really um, sit back and watch them go through certain type of things, but sometimes you have to. Um, they have to learn sometimes the hard way. That's sometimes for some people, it's the only way they're going to learn. And then they wake up and smell the roses and they're like, hey, wait a minute here. You know, I ain't doing that again. So I'm pleading with everybody out there because your warnings are running really, 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 you're getting to the end of them. Yes, a lot of the stores and stuff. I mean, I got a video coming out tomorrow, folks, at noon. My standard Sunday video. I'm sure you guys are going to all love. This is all my video footage um, from this past week and from my shopping yesterday. Actually, it's going to be a two-part because it would have just been too long to show you everything. So there'll be one coming out tomorrow, one on Wednesday will be the other part of the video because I wanted to try to keep it under 10 minutes, and it would just wasn't going to work. But there's a lot of stuff. I mean, you go in these stores. I mean, they're crammed full. You'll see it in my video tomorrow. I mean, they're just. It looks like Christmas time. I mean, literally. I didn't see any Christmas stuff. Thank God. But I didn't see any Christmas stuff, but I'm sure it's going to be coming soon. But I don't know where they're going to put it because the shelves are so crammed full. The aisles are packed with pallets of stuff. You'll see it in my video tomorrow. The back rooms, um, you'll see from the Walmart and the Sam's that I deliver to, you'll see for your own eyes, folks. Because I've got people that say, oh, no, that doesn't happen, or Sam's doesn't have a back room and they don't store stuff back there. Well, I hate to tell you, but I got a video coming out tomorrow that's going to prove that one wrong. And just like I said, I'm the one that's out there, I'm the one that's delivering. I see it on a daily basis. I'm not here trying to give you people more smoke and mirrors. I'm trying to bring you information to make sure that you stay safe, to make sure that you and your family are very, very well ready and able to ride out whatever storm is going to be rolling our way. And I think it's going to be quite a few different waves. And I think that this is going to be a very, very hard thing for a lot of folks. So I'm pleading with you. You need to make sure that you're doing your prepping. You need to make sure that you have your supplies that you need. And prepping is more than just food, folks. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are just like, oh, well, yeah, I put food and stuff up. There is more to it than that. Besides having your foods, and you got to have your first aid kits, you have to have your survival gear. You don't know how long you could be without power or anything else. Do you know how to cook on a fire? Do you own a cast iron skillet or any type of cookware that could resist the heat of a fire? Do you have ways to purify your water? Water is the most important thing that you have to concentrate on. Without having water, you might as well throw the towel in because you're not going to last that long. Your body will basically shut down and it'll be all over with, folks. And I don't mean to sound mean. I'm just telling you the truth. Water is the biggest thing. I understand for a lot of people, it's very, very hard to store water because it takes up so much room and it is very heavy. And, if you're a senior citizen or something and you're trying to carry a 40-pack thing of water, you're not going to be able to do it. I mean, it's a lot of weight and you have to have some place to store it. So having something like a Sawyer water filter system, even if you're on a budget, all right, 30, $40, and you can have a nice system all set up and ready to go, and you don't have to worry about it. You can filter water and clean it. And then if you really wanted to, after you did that, you can always boil the water. And this way, then you can turn around and you can take that and you can use it for drinking, for cooking, for whatever it may be. Maybe you have to clean a wound. You see, people don't think about these type of things. Having a common stove is another great addition to your prepping. Because this way here, if something happens and the power doesn't go out, we have brownouts, we have all this type of stuff. They're predicting that this year. What are we going to do? What are you going to do? Can you cook? A basic Coleman stove sets you back about $70. I gave one away just a few weeks ago. And, the person said she loved it. So, I mean, I'm trying to give away some good prizes too on this channel to help people out that, their survival, because a lot of people have to really realize that there is more than just putting up food. Food is a beautiful thing. Yes. But when you talk about prepping, and the thing of it is, folks, a lot of people think when you mention the word prepper or I'm prepping, this is what a lot of people are scared of because the conception of this country and a prepper, mark my words, all right, is everybody thinks of the TV show, The Doomsday Preppers. Now, I watched that show. It was quite interesting. These people had food put away for God knows how many years, you know? But that's what people think. If you tell them you're a prepper, that's the first thing that comes into their mind more than likely is, oh, the doomsday preppers. Yeah, the people are crazy. Well, you don't have to be a doomsday prepper and have that much food in order to have something that you can survive on while the storm is rolling in and you're waiting for it to subside so that you can go outside and evaluate the situation. If you get what I'm saying, I have to be careful what I say. Unfortunately, it is what it is. So, right now, folks, I want you to ask yourselves, have you been heeding the warnings? Have you been paying attention? Have you done everything that you possibly could do? Because your time is running out, and this could be your last warning. I want people to be prepared. I want people to be ready. I want people to understand what they need to do. That's why I've done all the videos that I have done. I want people to understand the importance of being able to supply food, water, medical, and everything else that goes along with prepping to their families in a time of need when they really do need it. You see, folks, in the end, it comes down to you being prepared. Because I can tell you right now, you can believe whatever you want to believe. If you think that FEMA truck's going to roll into your neighborhood and set up and start supplying you with everything you need, food and water and a shelter and all this kind of stuff, well, you all remember Katrina? Do I need to say any more? History repeats itself. And if you're talking something on a global scale that affects the whole country, where do you all really think that's going to go? Do you really think FEMA couldn't handle Katrina in Louisiana? You think they're going to be able to handle the whole country? Think about that, folks. It doesn't really take a rocket scientist to figure this out. It's very simple. You go to the store, if you need one thing of canned goods, say you're going in, you're going to buy a can of green beans, buy two. It's very simple. If you need, you know, potatoes, buy two. If you're buying, you wanted to do some nice rice or something for dinner that night or something, buy two. If you can afford to. The whole fact of the matter is, it's what you can afford nowadays because as I've been preaching since I started this channel a very, very long time ago, I mean, the thing of it is you have to be prepared and you just have to start putting away the goods that you need, what you eat. Don't buy stuff you're not going to eat. If you're not going to eat it, don't buy it. Don't waste the money. Why? So you can say you have it? That isn't no good. That does no good to you, your family, or anything else. If anything, you want to make sure that what you are doing is you're putting in what you are going to use. You put your money into what you want. You put your money into what your family needs. And you start with what's going to get them through and what's going to make them survive. You see, folks, because you don't want to just go out and buy, you know, junk food or all this kind of stuff. You want to make sure that you have a good balanced rotation of your meals. That's why a lot of preppers prep rice because you can do a million and one things with rice. You really can. Instant mashed potatoes. That's another one. You have to know how to store these products. All right. Beans. Beans is another big one. Rice and beans goes a long way. And then you can filter in your canned meats, canned vegetables, whatever else. Maybe it's freeze dried stuff. Whatever you can do, whatever you can afford, that's what you have to start doing. And that's what you have to start doing right now, right this minute. You need to start making a plan, making a list, and, and start to hit the stores. Excuse me. And start hitting the stores because literally, folks, it is like Christmas time inside these stores. Yes, there are some shelves and stuff that are short, and there's some things that are short, but nothing like what it was. Far from it. You have the opportunity. You have the opportunity right now to do whatever you can to make things better for you and your family, to really push your preparedness to a whole nother level. And don't worry about what the Joneses down the street are going to say or anything else. And you don't broadcast it. If I do a big prepping haul or whatever, I back my car right in the garage. It ain't nobody's damn business what I'm doing and what I'm unloading. You know what I'm saying? The last thing you want to do is start broadcasting what you got to anybody, unless it's family. Maybe if it's a close friend or something like that. Okay. But rather than that, if it's Joe Smo at work, he doesn't need to know. You get what I'm saying? If it's your kids, if it's your parents, that's a different story. Because sometimes you're going to have people in your family that, guess what? They think you're nuts, right? I've had, I don't know how many people ask me through email, through chats, through comments, and everything else. How do we get around trying to get and convince people to start prepping? And the bottom answer is, folks, it's very difficult because that's one of those situations where they're going to have to learn the hard way. But I also do say that you want to make sure that you do have extra preps, especially if it is your family or something, because if they come knocking on your door, it'll be very difficult for you to turn away anybody in your family, especially if it's your kids, sister, brother, parents, whoever it may be. It'd be very difficult for you to turn them away, knowing that they probably going to starve to death or die out there trying to survive. Am I not right? So you always want to make sure that you are putting away for those people that do not believe that they should be prepared for anything, that do believe that the government will be there to help them out in any situation, that also do believe that, none of this stuff will ever happen here in America. Well, folks, my answer to that one is 41-year high, 8.63% last month. Inflation on food over 1 year. Gas prices on average $5 a gallon. Diesel between 570 and $7, depending on what state you're in. Rent prices, one bedroom apartments going what, $1,500 to $2,000, depending on where you live. I heard something the other day, and I haven't been able to prove it yet. Maybe somebody's on here that probably could. Maybe, since there's almost 1,700 people on here right now. But I heard that in Manhattan, a one bedroom, what was it? One bedroom, 450 square foot apartment is now going for a whopping $4,000 a month. Give me a break. Are you people kidding me? I mean, I don't know who would pay that kind of price, but that's just idiotic to me. You know what I'm saying? But this is America now. You see, for a lot of people, they're still in shell shock. It hasn't set in yet. It hasn't reached in deep inside them yet to say, something's wrong. What is going on? These people must be like, you know, when is it going to hit? And unfortunately, for a lot of these people, when they hit that wall, folks, it's probably not going to be very pretty for them. It's going to be a very tough situation for them to deal with on the fact that their lives are going to change. And that moment in time, they're going to realize it. And at that moment in time, every time that they probably called you crazy, you know, stupid, whatever they want to call you, they're going to realize that you knew exactly what was going on and you saw the writing on the wall. Now, whether you watched it and you listened to me, you listened to anybody else, however you figured it out. Now, a lot of people, especially in this community, a lot of people have been prepping for a very long time. A lot of people were raised that way. Like I've talked about before, I can remember my grandmother. Now, they had 12 kids. All right. This is going way back when my mom, that's 80 some odd years old, was a little kid. And everything they did, if they weren't in school, they were working out in the field because grandma canned everything. The basement was nothing but canning jars. That's all it was in the basement. It's all it was down there in the basement was canning jars. And she canned everything that grandpa and they all harvest, and then grandma took and canned it all, put it all in the basement to get them through the winter. And that's what it was. Grandma made 10 loaves of bread a day. 10 loaves of bread a day. You have people today that can't even make one. If the store doesn't sell it, they don't know how to make bread. Bread's very simple to do. but they don't know how to do it. That's why I always say it's better to start if you don't know how to do it. I'm not saying that's a big problem, but you have to overcome that problem. But it's better if you don't understand how to do something or how something works, is to work on it now before an emergency situation arises, because that's the last time that you really want to be out there trying to figure stuff out. Do you understand what I'm saying, folks? So it's better to know what you're doing when the time comes when you need to know that. And it's very important and it's very critical because you don't want to be figuring it out when the shizzle just hit the fizzle, if you get what I'm saying. All right. You don't want to get there. You don't want to be there. You don't want to be the one that has to tell your family, your kids, your loved ones, or whoever else that you're not prepared. You don't know how to survive. You don't know how to cook without turning on the electric stove. Maybe you got a gas stove. But what happens is they shut the natural gas off. What are you going to do? I mean, yes. I mean, during a hurricane and stuff, if they don't shut the gas off, yeah, you can cook. I've done it down here. You know, your electric start doesn't work. You have to use a match or something and light that sucker up. And then you can sit there and do all the cooking you want to do. I lived in Vermont when Irene hit up there. We were practically trapped in our city. There was no way out. All the bridges were gone. There was no way to get out. I fired up the Coleman stoves and everything else. We had no power. We had no nothing else. Matter to me. I made spaghetti and meatballs, and then I also made bread in my oven, my camping oven. Never knew anything happened. Light some lights, put them around the house, and cooking. Hey, life is good, but you got to know how to use these things. That's the whole point of prepping, folks. Not only do you have to prep what you need, but if you're going to prep gear or you're going to prep anything, make sure you know how it works before the storm hits. All right, folks. So I've talked just about long enough. I'm going to jump over here into the comments real quick, and then we're going to get to our two winners tonight. Two lucky winners are being drawn tonight. All right. So let me jump over here and see what's going on. I see that I got some super chats and stuff that went by. So let me catch those. I really do appreciate the two super chats and everything you guys do. It really does help. It helps me do my giveaways. It helps me to make things better on the channel. And I'd like to thank everybody for being here. We've got a record crowd in here tonight, over 1,800 people. You people are just phenomenal. And that's why I enjoy doing my giveaways and everything, because you guys are awesome. All right. David Miller, thank you very much. People are already losing it. Moved from Seattle to northern Nevada last summer. Thank God. Well, thank you for the super chat, and I'm glad that you made a move that you are happy with. All right. I know I saw another one. David Miller again. David, you don't have to keep doing that. I appreciate it. Trust me. Thank you very much. The age of warlords within cities have already started. Yeah, I think I would agree. All right. Is that all my super chats? I thought I saw more. Could have swore there was a couple others. Let me just look at something here. If I scroll this back down. All right. Well, if you give us a super chat and I'm not seeing it for some reason, because I know I saw some go by. I got the 2 from David. I think there was another one. I'm okay. I was just trying to figure out why this thing won't let me go back up to the very top. But all right, let me see if I can get in here because this thing is going so fast. If you guys do have any questions or anything, if you want to throw them in there right now, just put them in all caps and I'll just scroll to the bottom because there's Brandy Tate, new subscriber. My dad introduced me today. Oh, well, tell your dad I said thank you. And thank you for subscribing to the channel. And thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, you don't have to do that. All right. I got another one here from Daniel Tea Garden. He says, me, laugh out loud. Okay. Maybe you're the other super chat. All right. Thank you very much, Daniel. I do appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that has done everything for this channel and has made this such a great, great channel. Um, you people have no idea um, how it makes a creator feel when people are um, generous enough to spend your time watching the content that we create on I try to turn out as many videos as I possibly can. Like I get 2 days to do them, so I try to turn them out. I'm trying to work on getting better things and everything else, and the super chats help, um, the super stickers and all that kind of stuff. Anything that you guys do for this channel, the biggest thing that you can do for this channel is make sure you hit that subscribe button because I know there's a lot of people that watch this, especially this live stream, because I look at all my YouTube stuff. And there's a lot of people that watch, but they don't subscribe. So the biggest thing you can do is subscribe to this channel. And this way here, if you don't really want to hit the notification bell, if you're one of these people that do not like that thing going off all day long, that's fine and dandy. But at least subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up and maybe share this with some of your friends and your family. And this way here, we can get more people prepared, more people ready for what is coming soon and why we need to be prepared. With that being said, it is time for our giveaway. Now we're going to start with last week's giveaway because nobody claimed that prize. Now, as you all do know, in the description, there is a disclaimer. You have 48 hours. I just want everybody to know this. Okay. You have 48 hours from the time this live stream ends, so at 9 o'clock, until you got 48 hours to contact me. And all you have to do is very simple. I'll put a post on your comment. So you should get notified that way that somebody commented or something that I commented on your post. And I always tell you, you won, congratulations, and everything else. You got 48 hours from the time I do that. And this way here, it's fair. And then if you don't, it rolls over to the following week and I'll give something away. Well, I'll give the prize away on the same video. So I go back in, I pick the same people, put it back into my YouTube random picker, and it picks another person out of that video. So that these two winners aren't out of yesterday's video. One is from last Friday and one is from this Friday. So so everybody understands that. So the first one we're going to do, and this one was for the Midland 50 channel radios, the 2-pack, the walkie talkies. All right. That we talked about last week. And that one there goes to Wise Ass Owl in Port Orchard, Washington. and he made a comment that his gas was between 5.15 and 5.35. Regular unleaded diesel was 6.15 a gallon. Now, this was a comment as of last Friday. I'd love to know what his prices are right now. So, congratulations to Wise Ass Al. You won the Midland 50 channel waterproof radios. All you have to do is in the description is my email address. Email me your information, your name, your address, and I will order those from Amazon and have them sent to you. Now, for this week, all right. And this week here, nobody knew what they were winning. All right. So this was a kind of a back to basics type week. And so that's what the winning prize is. It's actually two. And this one goes to Pink Sadie Lady. And her comment was, I am confident that I could feed my family for a few months, but still working on it a little by little. And you know what? That's all you have to do, folks, is just keep prepping away a little by little. And she won this week. All right. The first prize is it's a 2-pack type deal here. It's an emergency radio. It's not like the walkie talkies. Okay. It's a digital weather radio with AM, FM, the NOAA weather radio, shortwave, SOS, a survival portable radio. Um, it's hand crank. You can also put batteries in it. You can hand crank it. It has two different types of lights on it. It will charge your cell phone also. And it does, like I said, have the hand crank so you never run out of power with this bad boy. And then you also win a complete guide to traditional skills, back to basics. It's a book. It's a great book. Um, and you won the book. It's a hardcover you're going to be receiving. So you got the radio and the book, Back to Basics, a complete guide to traditional skills. I'd like to thank both people for commenting, for subscribing to the channel, for everything that everybody does for this channel. Just make sure that you all go in. If you won, if you are the lucky winners, make sure you email me your information, your name, address, and I will get those sent to you from Amazon. And I hope you all do enjoy. And on that note, I'm going to scroll through here real quick, make sure that I've got everything here. This has been an intense, incredible live. This is the best live I've had yet. And I'd like to thank everybody for everything that you do for this channel. Like I did say before, you people are just awesome. This community is growing into something that I never even imagined could happen to me. I figured I'd be one of these people that would be at 3 or 4,000 subscribers and, trying to get the word out and trying to make a difference in people's lives. And obviously, it's gone way past that, because a lot of people are subscribing to the channel. A lot of people are sharing the videos. I do get comments that, "Oh, this person sent me over here to check you out," or whatever. And I'd also like to thank my moderators, JT and Jan. I'm working on trying to get you some help here. It looks like we're going to need it. So I did have one person that reached out to me. I haven't had a chance to respond yet. I'm sorry. But I'm going to be getting back to that person. And if you know who you are, I'll be getting in touch. There's just so much stuff to do, being a creator and everything. When the weekends roll around, it's really tough, folks, because, you got to try to balance trying to shoot the videos, edit the videos, your home life, and trying to have a life, and everything else. Maybe one of these days, this will be my life. Who knows? At this point, that's what I'm shooting for, because I never thought I'd be where I'm at now. So my dad always told me, shoot for the stars. You got nothing to lose. right? You only live once, folks. You only live once. So maybe you got to try to do what you really like to do and make it a point to make it work. So I'm survival preparedness for beginners. Everybody remember, this could be your last warning. Make sure you're getting prepared. Make sure you're doing everything that you can. Make sure you're going through all your stockpiles. Maybe you need to learn how to use that tent you bought. The point is, you want to making sure you're doing it now and making sure that, you know what, I'm ready. Those are the words you want to hear. When you go to bed at night and you lay down in bed and you put your head back on that pillow, you're going to lay there and you're going to say, you know what? It doesn't matter what happens. I'm ready. I'm ready to rock and roll. And that's what you got to be prepared for. So, folks, don't forget to catch up my 2-part video series on video that I shot personally. Some of it was that when I was working, and the other was when I went to my Walmart store, just right down the street from me. And what I saw in there, that comes out at noon tomorrow. And then it'll come out on Wednesday. The second part will come out at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on all these, of course. And I really do appreciate everybody. There'll be other videos that'll be out on Monday, Tuesday, and hopefully maybe Thursday, Friday. But I will catch everybody next Saturday night. Make sure you watch Friday's video because you could have a chance at winning another giveaway. I'm getting to like these. You know, there was a guy that got me really going on this. It really helped me out a lot, and that was an Alaskan prepper. And I was talking with him one day, and he told me that once you start the giveaways, they're addicting. You enjoy doing them because you enjoy bringing joy to other preppers. Because for some people, you know, they never. I get the comments all. I never win. I've never won anything in my life. You know, it's like you made their day. You know, and you're helping them be prepared. So I just like to thank everybody once again. I know I've said that a million times, and I'm probably going to get comments on here that, oh, you're repeating yourself. But I'm sorry. I'm very thankful for what we have achieved as a community. And without you, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair talking to all of you. So thank you once again. And until next Saturday night, and we meet again at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I'll catch you all on the flip side.